Feeling good, feeling fine. Big old boots and dance line. Had a hard week, all week, but now it's party time. They're rolling up and pouring up in the space game. I'm the next one. Girl, you're looking mighty sweet. Let me see what's in your cup. Till I can't no more. Grab your girl and get down to the floor. It's a country party. It's a country party. King George and West Love. Nobody's hating, ain't nothing but love. Moving over to the dance floor, cause I'm starting to feel what's in my cup. Prettiest lady by her hand, I asked her if she wanted to dance. She said no, she's been waiting on the chance to take me inside and get me out my pants. Come on, turn it on. Yeah, I can't no more. Yeah, let's go. This is your girl, Maya B. Music. And we from the party down in the country, baby. If you never been to the country, get down to the country, baby. This how we do it. Listen. It's a country. Feeling good, feeling fine. Big old boots and dance line. Had a hard week, all week, but now it's party time. They're rolling up and pouring up in the space game. I'm the next one. Girl, you're looking mighty sweet. Let me see what's in your cup. Till I can't no more. Yeah, you better grab your girl and get down to the floor. It's a country party. Country party. King George and West Love. Nobody's hating, ain't nothing but love. Moving over to the dance floor, cause I'm starting to feel what's in my cup. Prettiest lady by her hand, I asked her if she wanted to dance. She said no, she's been waiting on the chance to take me inside and get me out my pants. Come on, turn it up. Yeah, I can't no more. Yeah, you gotta grab your girl and get down on the floor. It's a country party. Going on. Country party. Thank y'all for coming to another Freaknik Friday. I know a lot of people are like, she's not gonna come on. Yeah, I am gonna come on. I am. But you gotta understand that, sometimes my internet, let me try to close some of this stuff, because it could be, we need to close some of these screens. Y'all hold on. Let me just close. All right, now. Okay. How y'all doing? Listen, I know I have not been on here in a minute. Well, nah. I mean, I missed one Friday. Come on now. I missed one Friday. And but I'm back. But before I get started, y'all already know how I go. I want to thank my advisor kings, advisor queens, advisor honeys, and my advisor princess. Thank you guys, for hanging in there with me. I don't even know if some of you guys are still holding memberships. Maybe none of you guys are, whatever. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? This whole YouTube thing done, totally changed paths. So, I just get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? So I go live. Because I guess that's just the area. That's the area that we're at. You know what I mean? That's the area. And until I decide, that I need to move on, do something totally different. You know what I mean? But anyways, I did want to talk about, some stuff that's going on and stuff. And I just want to say, and I'm hoping people will share this video. Okay? And we are talking about, y'all already know what's going on with the government shutdown and all of that. We all get that. You know what I mean? We all get that. We all see what is going on with in the social media. But and I'm going to say this. Please share this. Share this. If you don't share none of my other videos, share this shit. Share it. Okay? Do not believe everything you hear in the social media, because I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody looting. Ain't nobody out here looting at all. Don't believe what you hear on social media platforms. That's TikTok, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, because everybody is trying to get their numbers up. Everybody is trying to say, oh, if I don't get this, if I don't get that. See, that's the thing. Monkeys follow monkeys on social media. So if you got a monkey that's dancing for bananas on social media and they're putting shit out, another monkey is going to dance just like that or even better. You know what I mean? Because of the government shutdown, yes, we all know the government shutdown and the food stamps. Everybody see that. Everybody see that. But you don't see people actually going into the stores and looting and coming out with buggies full of shit and all of that stuff. I had to kind of come back and I had to do my research, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I had to do my research because I'm like, okay, now I live in upstate New York. I ain't hearing about no goddamn Walmart getting raided, buggies full of shit running out of there. I ain't hear nothing about no Price Right getting raided, running out of there. I didn't hear anything. What I did hear is shit that happened a long time ago, and that's what social media is showing you. Do not believe all the shit that you hear on social media, because a lot of that shit is false and phony. And I'm here to tell you the truth. A lot of that shit. You know what I mean? Because of the government shutdown, yes. The government shutdown, the government shutdown is happening. Yes, we already know that. But a lot of that media shit that you seeing on social media with people running out of the stores with buggies and all that shit is fake as fuck. Fake as fuck. It's not happening. It's not happening. If you ain't hearing it on your news channel, on your local news channel in your city, it is not happening. Do not believe everything you hear on social media, because it's not happening. It isn't. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm so tired of going on social on different shit on the internet and say, oh, this person ran out and all of this. And Section 8 is the same motherfucking way. You know what I mean? They're not throwing motherfuckers out. No, they're not. They're not throwing nobody out on Section 8. They're not. What you're going to see is that shit on social media. It's showing that shit. But what you're not understanding is that shit is from a long time ago. A long time ago that probably they just got evicted. And then they just put, hey, oh, this is good. We can use this for Section 8. Okay, let's put Section 8. They're getting thrown out for Section 8. That's what I'm saying. Do not believe everything you hear on social media, because social media is just there for entertainment. Social media is there for they shit to go viral. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I am just keeping it real with y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not here to sugarcoat shit, because if y'all know me, I've always been real since day one. You know what I mean? And I've been doing my research, and I had to go back. I'm like, damn. You know, I'm seeing motherfuckers looting. I'm seeing motherfuckers stealing, and they got the thing of food stamps. People going in stores stealing this shit, but you're not understanding that people. If people were really stealing, they're going to steal buggies full of food. They're not going to be stealing motherfucking TVs. They're not going to be stealing jewelry. They're not going to be stealing Bluetooths and all of that shit. They're going to be stealing food for their families. You're not going to see that on some social media platform. That's why I said, don't believe what you see on social media. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the truth. Ain't nobody looting. Ain't nobody looting at all. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. And it is just for social media. So people could probably get wound up and be like, shit, they looting over here. They looting over here in this city. Shit, I'm about to start looting in my goddamn city. No. You know, I live in upstate New York. Not a motherfucking store, not a goddamn Walmart. I ain't hear shit on no news. I ain't hear no shit about Price Right getting people running out full of buggies of food. I'm telling y'all. Do not believe everything you hear on social media, because if it's not on your local news channel, do not believe what you hear on social media, because everybody's trying to go viral and everybody is trying to start an uproar just so somebody could be like, shit, I'm about to go and I'm about to shit. They doing it over there in Ohio. They doing it over there in Atlanta. They doing it up. No, those are old goddamn videos that you're watching, probably when some shit was happening and they were looting. You
You know what I mean? You got you got now if a mother was home and she didn't have no motherfucking food stamps and she didn't have no way to get her goddamn kids no food and shit, she gonna run out of that bitch with a grocery full of food. She ain't gonna run out of that motherfucker with cases of beer. She ain't gonna run out of that motherfucker with jewelry. She ain't gonna run out of that motherfucker with some goddamn Bluetooth, headphones, cell phones, and all of that shit. No. I'm telling you, do not believe everything you hear on social media because they put some shit on there to make you think that that's what you're really looking at, but that's not even the case. That's not even the case. Like I said, I live in upstate New York. And I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. I'm sitting around, I'm waiting. I'm like, oh, okay, so I already know they're gonna get Wegmans. They're gonna get Price Right. They're gonna get Walmart. Ain't nobody fucking ran out of no store with no goddamn buggy full of food, nothing. Nothing. What I did see is motherfuckers from different cities running out of the store with grocery carts and all of that shit, but that could have been some old shit from a long time ago. Only thing they did was just plaster that shit where it's just new, updated shit. I told you, do not believe everything you hear on social media. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You cannot believe everything you hear on social media. I'm just, I'm just keeping it real with you. And I really hope that y'all share my video. And I really hope that, if I hopefully maybe one day, I don't know how it feels to go viral or whatever, but I'm just here to tell y'all the truth. I'm just here to tell y'all the truth. You know what I mean? This goddamn food stamp shutdown and shit like that. Okay, it's a food stamp shutdown, but the black people, they're dealing with it. They're not going into no stores still. There ain't nobody trying to go to motherfucking jail. Ain't nobody trying to go to no goddamn jail. You got motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you something. You got motherfuckers on social media saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna steal this and I'm gonna steal that and all of that." That is not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. The only thing they doing is they following trait of other motherfuckers on social media, cause it's a thing now. It's a thing now. Shit, I can make a video. I can make a video and act like I'm gonna go into the store. And still, motherfuckers be going into the stores. They actually act like they stealing, but they're really not stealing. Come on now. Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Do not believe everything you hear on social media. Because motherfuckers can go in the store and make a video and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put these couple of packs of meat in my goddamn in my pants and shit, and I'm gonna act like I'm stealing because I'm hungry. Now, that's just social media baloney, okay? And I'm telling you, share this goddamn video, because I'm telling you, ain't nobody looting. Not in my city, not in upstate New York. Not in upstate New York, not in Rochester, not in Buffalo, not in Syracuse. You ain't hear about nobody running out no goddamn stores with no buggies full of food and all of that shit. You're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear that. What you're going to see is when you go out to those stores is you're going to see the stores are empty. You're going to see the stores are empty and they're quiet. They're going to have people shopping, yes. But you ain't gonna see no young females in there with buggies full of shit like you used to. No, because the government shut down. But they managing to make it through. They managed to make it through. Ain't nobody trying to go to jail, especially on no motherfucking close to Thanksgiving. Hell no, they're not. They're not trying to do all that shit. What you seeing is you're seeing a bunch of bullshit. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. And if anybody out there in America, that want to challenge what I'm saying, please step up. Please step up or leave a comment and say, Miss Brown, they are looting in my city. They are taking this. They are taking that. And I want you to put a timestamp and let me know what year. Because ain't nobody looting If anybody was looting, you would hear it on your local news station. If it's not on your local news station, it did not happen. It did not happen. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I also want to address another thing too. I also want to address another thing. You know, and this is just me. This is just my personal opinion. And like I said, share the goddamn video, please. Share the goddamn video. But, you know, my thing with, you know, DSS, social services, and all of that stuff, excuse me, they were the ones that created this problem with some of these young girls having all of these babies. And I'm going to tell you why. They should have never allowed young kids or young mothers to apply for social services. They should have not even allowed them to even, no. If you're pregnant and you're 18, 19, 20, and you, yeah, well, you know what? That's going to be your responsibility. Or if you're staying with your parent, that should be your parents' responsibility and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. I feel that because social services opened the gap of some of these young girls with the 18 years old that apply for social services, some of these young boys that can apply for social services and stuff like that. That's where the problem comes from. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Had you not let them young girls apply for DSS, you wouldn't have that many. There wouldn't be that many babies in the world. They wouldn't have. But because of the young kids, if they ever took a survey, I bet you 10 to 1 is probably more young kids on DSS now than it's older. Than the people that got disability and all of that shit. Because the younger generation, they the ones that's taking over. The younger generations are the ones that's going to destroy this world. They are. They're going to destroy this world because of their attitude. They're going to destroy this world because the way that they were brought up and the way they feel that the world owes them. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's just like that story in the Bible, about when Moses went up to the mountain and stuff like that, and conversed with God and all of that, and then he left all the people down in the goddamn in the mountains, because he thought that he could trust them and all of that stuff, but then they went buck ass wild. They was having sex, they were doing this, they was doing that, da. That's where them young motherfuckers come in at. It's the young motherfuckers that's destroying the world today. It's not the elderly. It's not the goddamn disability people. It's not. It's the young people. It's the young people that's destroying the world today. I'm just keeping it real with you. Hey, you like it? You like it. If you don't, who gives a fuck? I'm just keeping it real with you. But that's what it is. It's the younger generation. It's the younger generation because the younger generation is very disrespectful these days. They don't respect the elders. They talk to you any kind of way and all of that shit. You know what I mean? That's who's destroying the world today. It's not Trump. It's not anything. It's them goddamn younger kids. Them younger kids. That's why every time you turn around and shit, most of them young kids, those are the ones that's on DSS. It ain't no more older. It ain't no more elders. Yes, they could be on social services. I ain't gonna hold you. Yes. But mostly they're all young kids that's on DSS. And if they ever did a survey to see how many motherfuckers are, and they are on there, and they all are ghetto, they all are disrespectful, and they all come from a dysfunctional household. And that's just what it is. I'm just keeping it real. Mm-hmm. That's how it is. The younger generation, the younger generation is fucking it up. Is fucking it up for the upcoming generation. For the upcoming generation. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Most of those girls, and like I said, when you see social media and all of that shit, you see half of them goddamn girls on there. Half of them are wearing bonnets. Half of them are talking ghetto as a bitch. Half of them can't even do the proper English, grammar, punctuation, nothing. They don't. They just talking ghetto as hell. They talking ghetto as hell. You know what I mean? Okay, granted that they're that's just the way they were brought up. That's just the way they brought up. But you can kind of tell if they get up on social media and start talking that, you can kind of understand exactly. If you ever met their mother, you could understand that her mother is probably the reason why the daughter is acting the way that she do, because kids are always going to mimic what they see their parents do. Kids are always going to mimic what they see their mothers do. Kids are always going to mimic what they see their fathers do. You know what I mean? So if the boy grew up in a household and see that the father is abusive and beating on the mama, 9 times out of 10, when he gets bigger and he has a household, he's gonna think about, hey, it worked for my dad, so let me be the abuser. He's going to be the abuser. That's just like a child molester. When a child molester, when a baby get molested at a young age and they grow up and all of that stuff, 9 times out of 10, if they don't get no help, they're going to be a molester too. I'm just keeping it real. Because that's just the way the cycle is. That's just the way the cycle is. You know what I mean? And I'm keeping it real. And like I said, do not believe what you hear on social media platform, because sometimes a lot of that shit is not true. If you don't hear it on your local news station, don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe what you hear on social media. Do not, because most of them is on there to go viral. Most of them is on there to do the same goddamn thing the next channel's doing. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. And I really hope people can understand. And I really hope that y'all share my video out and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, she don't know what she talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. I see what I see. I see what I see. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again. It's the younger generation, put it on paper, pen, or whatever. It's the younger generation that's fucking up this goddamn world, because they're very disrespectful. They have no respect for the elders, the seniors, probably even their mama or their daddy, grandma, nothing. They got this whole goddamn thing that, hey, you know what? You need to cater to me. You're old. Sit the fuck back and all of that shit. Half of them motherfuckers, listen, and y'all understand what I'm talking about. A lot of these motherfucking young motherfuckers today, first thing they say out of their mouth is what? You happened in your days. But right now, it didn't happen in this. I'm telling you, I know. I already know how a lot of them think. I already know. You know what I mean? If you ain't at their level, then you're stupid, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about. That's just what it is. And I'm just keeping it real. And then they go on social media. And then they go on social media and they hear other shit and they see other people like, well, damn. Okay, well, maybe I need to start talking some shit about such and such and such and such. Everybody else, you know what I mean? Everybody, it's just a numbers game. That is always on social media. Is nothing but a numbers game. It's just seeing who can go viral. Bitch, I'm gonna put this on social media, and I know I'm gonna go viral. That's what it is. They trying to see who gonna go viral. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes videos do go viral. Sometimes videos do go viral, but that's only because it might have had something to do with the audience, and somebody had a bigger platform, and they was able to share the video over and 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 over, and then it just grew like that, like a fucking snowball. You know what I mean? You know that's all I'm saying. Like I said before, do not believe what you hear on social media platforms, because a lot of times it's not true. It isn't. If it didn't come from your local news station, if it didn't come from your local news station, don't believe it. And don't believe it. Because that's what I had to think. I had to go back and I had to do my research. I'm like, wait a minute. So they're talking about the government shutdown, and then on social media, I'm seeing people running, and I know if I see it, you see it too. I'm looking at different things, and I'm looking at people running out of the stores, and I'm seeing, yes, I am seeing some food carts. I ain't gonna hold you. I am seeing some food carts, but then on the flip side, you go down to maybe like 2 videos down or whatever, and they still talking about the same thing. Oh, government shutdown, food stamps shut off. People are going wild and crazy because they didn't get their food stamps. But then you turn around and you see motherfuckers running out of store with beer. You see motherfuckers running out of store with Bluetooth. You see motherfuckers. They're not even running out with food. They're not even running out with food. They're not. They're not. They're not even running out with food. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. I found out when I went on some of them. When I went on some of the YouTube storylines and stuff like that, and I love a good drama. I love a good storyline and this and that and stuff like that. And a lot of them was talking about different stories and stuff like that. I think it's all fictitious. I really do. Even some of them stories that they make up and stuff. Because if y'all notice at the end of some of them goddamn skits that they talking about, I'm just saying, hey, the woman drowned, or she found a guy that she thought that was gonna be her man, and he ended up doing this, and then come to find out, at the end, you always see some shit at the end. See, the end is always gonna reveal what the fuck the shit is all about in the beginning, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna see some writing that ain't even American writing. You're gonna see some shit that's not even Spanish writing. You're gonna see some shit that's either what, some other shit, from different countries and cities and shit like that. So it just lets me believe that what they did is they put up this story. They put up this whole story for you to keep tuning in and viewing and seeing. And but at the end of the shit, it's not even that. It's not even that. Don't believe everything you hear on social media. That's what I'm telling you. You see a fucked up story, they would just turn it. Go somewhere else and shit. Cause the only thing you doing is you giving them views, and you giving them shit, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking liars. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody real. Ain't nobody gonna be real on social media. Let's just keep it real. Because everybody's trying to go viral on social media. You know what I mean? And especially with this government shutdown. Now the government shutdown, you would think that, this is some serious shit. Yes, it is people going without food. Yes, it is mothers don't have WIC and all of that stuff. But they're not out there stealing. They're not out there stealing. They're not out there stealing baby formula. They're not out there stealing Pampers. They're not out there stealing food. Not in my city. Not in my city. But what you will see again, like I said, you'll see empty stores. That's what you'll see. But you ain't gonna see nobody running out with a buggy full of formula. Not in my city. You ain't gonna see nobody running out with a buggy full of Pampers. Not in my city. No, because ain't nobody trying to go to goddamn jail. But on social media, they hack that shit up in other cities. You know, and social media, they make you think that this is what's going on. You know what I mean? It's almost like social media, it wants to be the thing of, hey, this is happening in my city, so it's happening all over. So now you need to get the ball rolling so it can happen in your city. It's almost like you want, like almost like somebody really want to start a riot or war to try to get somebody to be like, fuck it. I can't tell you how many times I went on social media and I see motherfuckers like, hey, when y'all going out to get some goddamn food? When y'all going to riot? I want to know, because ain't nobody rioting in my goddamn city. So who's organizing this? Because I want to get involved. It ain't happening. It is not happening because it's a hoax. That's what it is. It's a hoax. It is. If you don't believe me, check your goddamn local news. Check your local news, and your local news, they ain't gonna lie to you. They're gonna be like, ain't no motherfucking body rioting in our goddamn city. No, you hear that shit on the goddamn news. Be like, oh, such and such came in, and and they stole this, they stole, they stole a buggy full of shit. You ain't gonna hear that. You ain't gonna hear that. I had to put my my disclaimer up because y'all already know how YouTube is. You like, oh hell no. She talking some shit. So yeah. But y'all already know. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all and shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Yeah. But I was hoping somebody wanted to come up and hang out because your girl. You know what I mean? Your girl. Y'all already know I'm here for a teaspoon and shit. So yeah. And I got a different cup tonight. Yeah, I was like, fuck it. So we're gonna see who wants to come up and hang out with your girl, and and talk about what's going on, as far as this this government shutdown and shit like that, and what they think, and if they're rioting in their city, because I want to know. Okay, and share this goddamn video. Are anybody rioting in your goddamn city? And if they're not rioting, if you ain't heard it on your local news, I ain't talking about the social media platform. No, don't go there. Do not go there. We're not talking about that. We don't want to hear about social media platform. If your local news ain't broadcasting in your city, then it's a hoax. Wake up and smell the coffee. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? Don't always believe what you hear on social media. If it's not happening in your city, and it's not on the news, it did not happen. It did not happen. The news people is not gonna every time. To go viral. I'm just keeping it real. So if you are from different cities, You know what I mean? If you're from different cities, check with your news report, your news station. You check with your news station, or you already know, especially if you be out there in them stores. If you be out them in stores, I don't know, your different stores in different cities. I just know what's up in upstate New York. But if you never heard about people actually going into the stores, stealing buggies full of food, stealing buggies full of Pampers, stealing buggies for the formula, then you already know it did not happen. It did not happen. It did not happen. You not believe everything you hear on social media, but do believe what you hear on your local news station, because they're not going to report false news. They're not. They're gonna know. They're gonna let you know. You know what I mean? And then you can do what you want to do. I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I mean? hmm mm. I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I mean? Um, I just seen how the social media worked, because I had to go back and I had to do my little research. I'm like, wait a minute, because actually I was gonna kind of come in on a different avenue. I was like, wait a minute, something's just not right here. Something's just not right here. You know, you got the stealing people, and then you got the looters. So I'm thinking like, okay, let me just separate the stealer motherfucker. The stealer motherfuckers, you know, they gonna steal shit that they need. They gonna steal food. But the looters seem like they're mixed in with the stealers. Because the looters are going to steal TVs, they're going to steal Bluetooths, they're going to steal jewelry, they're going to steal cell phones. But I'm thinking like, wait a minute. If this is supposed to be a government shutdown and they're supposed to be doing stealing food to eat, you can't eat no motherfucking TV. You can't eat no motherfucking phone. You can't eat, you know what I mean? That lets me know that as an old video that posted a long time ago, and they what they're doing is they're making you think that it's now. They making you think that it's in the now. They making you think that this is what's going on due to government shutdown. Fuck no. Fuck no. Ain't nobody looting. Ain't nobody looting. Not in my city. Not in my city. You know what I mean? And like I said, if anybody is looting in your city, if anybody is looting in your city, and you see that I'm live, come up and be like, yo, Miss Brown, I'm going to tell you something. Man, they looting like a fuck in my goddamn city. People are going in stores, they stealing this and stealing that and stealing this. No. Because what the government should realize now is how many people are actually on welfare. And I believe, and yeah, and please put this in black and white. I believe it's more Caucasian motherfuckers on welfare than black people. That's what I believe. That's why when you go into the grocery stores, when you go into these different department stores, you don't see mostly nobody now but white people. You don't see no black people, especially some of them young girls you used to see with all them big carts of shrimps and this and that. You ain't gonna see that now because of the government shutdown. But what you will see is you will see a lot of white motherfuckers up in there shopping. Yeah, you will. Because maybe they don't got help from a family member or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, they're on the system. And I believe that it's more white motherfuckers on the system than black people. And that's just how I feel. And I'm just telling you the truth. So I know that if I feel that way, it may be other people out here that might feel the same way too. You know what I mean? You know, everybody was always talking about, oh, it's nothing but black people on social services now. No, I believe it's a lot of Caucasians. It's more Caucasians on there because I'm gonna tell you, go to them goddamn because of the government shutdown. We already know that. We already know it's a lot of food lines. But if you go to some of those food lines, you are going to see more white people than you will black people. That just lets you know it's a lot of white motherfuckers on welfare than black people. Yes, there is black people. It's a lot of black people. I ain't gonna hold you. Yes, yes. But the majority of them are all white people. The majority of them are all Spanish. I ain't gonna leave Spanish motherfuckers out because they up in there too. They up in there too. It's a lot of white people up on welfare, and it's a lot of Spanish motherfuckers on welfare. Yes, yeah. You ain't gonna see too many motherfucking Haitians. You ain't gonna see too many motherfucking Chinese motherfuckers up on there. No, no, no. I've never heard, and I'm being 100% with you. I never heard of a Chinese motherfucker being on social service. Mm-mm. Nope, nope. Mm-mm. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I ain't never heard. I ain't never heard of Chinese motherfuckers being on DSS. Just like I ain't never heard of a motherfucking Chinese person owning a funeral parlor. Y'all ever heard of a motherfucking Chinese person owning a funeral parlor or even having funerals? No, they don't believe in that. I'm just telling you. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just keeping it real with you. They're gonna protect their own. That's what I believe. I believe they're gonna protect their own. That's why you ain't gonna see too many motherfucking Chinese on there and shit. But what you will see, I ain't gonna hold you though. You will see the motherfucking Haitians. Oh, you see a lot of them, and they have a lot of goddamn kids. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. They have at least 9 kids. 9 goddamn kids. I'm just keeping it real with you. They have 9 motherfucking kids. But they have 9 goddamn kids. But best believe they may have 9 goddamn kids. But best believe and share this goddamn video. It's always gonna be by the same goddamn man. They ain't gonna have a kid over here by a different man. They ain't gonna have another kid over here. They're gonna have 9 kids by the same goddamn man. And that man is not going to leave that woman with those 9 kids. He gonna go out and get 9 motherfucking jobs if he got to support his family. He gonna go out and get 13 jobs if he got to support his family. He's not gonna leave that woman with 9 kids. He's not, because I believe that it's not in his culture. That's just me. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about their culture, but I've seen them. I've seen how some of them Haitian women, even though they have all them goddamn kids and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, either the daddy's gone and working 9 goddamn jobs, 13 goddamn jobs, but she gonna hold it down far as the household. She gonna hold it down far as the household. If she got to get on a bus, with her 9 kids, that's what she gonna do. If she got to carry water on top of her motherfucking head, because I'm pretty sure y'all see motherfuckers, them goddamn Haitian women. Them Haitian women ain't no goddamn joke. They're not no goddamn joke. Bitch, I know how to struggle. Bitch, I know how to carry shit. Bitch, I can carry 2 bags and 1 in each hand and a goddamn 16-ounce thing of fucking soda or water on top of my goddamn head and still balance that shit. I was amazed. You know what I mean? They know how to hold it down. You know what I mean? I know I'm getting a little bit off topic. I already know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know me. You know what I mean? That's why I have my disclaimer up, because I don't want you to be like, oh my God, you're talking about the Haitians, you're putting them down. No, I'm just kind of talking about social media itself. And I'm also talking about how it is people out here. It is people out here that, they know how to go and do their business. When businesses need to be taken care of, they're gonna take care of it. You know what I mean? They're gonna take care of it. you know, and also how this social media platform is playing out with what's going on in today's society. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I know it's people out there that can understand what I'm talking about. They can understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That's why I really wish that somebody, could take this video and share it and stuff like that. I've never had a video go viral. No, I've never had a video go viral. No, maybe one day God will bless me and be like, you know what? We're gonna try to make this video go viral because we need to try to get Miss Brown views up, this and that and stuff like that. But I've also think that it's educational, and I also think that it's something that other people could kind of see, and just in case, because they may not be aware, they just be so tied in on the entertainment and all of this, be like, oh my God, they looting all over the place. Oh my God, they just ran a store with all of this food and their buggies and all. Ain't nobody looting. Now, I'm here to tell you, if they not looting in my goddamn city, and believe me, I'm like, ooh, I know they're gonna hit this. Ooh, I know they're gonna hit Wegmans. Ooh, I know they're gonna hit Price Right. Ooh, I know they're gonna hit Tops. Ooh, I know they're gonna hit ain't hit shit. We got all these goddamn Walmarts in my damn city, and I'm pretty sure if you ain't hearing nothing in your city, that there's just it ain't nothing but the internet. It's just internet shit. It's internet fictitious shit just to get you to tune in. Hmm. Don't fall for that shit. Niggas ain't stupid. Niggas ain't trying to go to jail. Fuck. What? You mean to tell me I'm gonna go and I'm gonna steal this, I'm gonna steal that, and I'm gonna go in jail? I'm going to jail, and I'm gonna be in jail for Thanksgiving, and I ain't gonna have time to spend with my motherfucking kids? Oh, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? And I believe that. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I believe, because yes, the government shut down the food stamps, but it's some of them girls that have all of them goddamn kids. They do get cash too. So even though they may have to use their cash, but there's still cash. There's still money on that card where they can go and they can still buy little odds and ends and stuff like that. That will help them get through until this food stamp shutdown bullshit is over with. You know what I mean? But I believe that that's probably why, that what's holding them afloat. Now, if the government said, fuck it, we cutting off your stamps, we cutting off your cash assistance, oh, that'd be something totally different. But if a young girl, if she got if she got 3 and 4 kids, 5 kids and stuff, she's still not doing too bad. She knows she got to kind of like, okay, I know I used to be able to get this, now I'm not going to be able to get that, but at least I'll be able to get something that'll hold me until whatever's going to happen, the next phase or whatever. But they're not totally broke. That's why I believe ain't nobody rioting, because there is something that they can fall back on. Now, if it wasn't absolutely nothing, now if they took the food stamps, if they took the cash assistance, we might be talking a different story. We might be talking a different story, because that means that they ain't got shit. Look, it's bad that they don't got no food stamps, yes. But if you cut off that goddamn cash assistance, see that cash assistance, that's money. That's money. Even though they mad as a motherfucker, goddamn. At one time, I'd be able to go and buy a bag of shrimp. Or damn, at one time I'd be able to buy some bundles and shit like that. You know what I mean? Now I gotta limit my bundles because now I gotta buy this for food, and then I'll be able to get a bundle, but I won't be able to get what I used to get with the bundles because I gotta use cash. That's what they mad at. But they making it work though. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? They didn't cut off cash assistance, they just cut off food stamps. And that's why I believe, as I'm glad to put my disclaimer up, that's what I believe, that the government is doing some shit. The government is doing some shit to make people upset. The government is doing shit to try to get to start a riot. Some motherfuckers be like, damn, this happened. Okay, now I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. The government is trying to get people to riot. The government is trying to do all that shit. Don't fall for that shit. Especially the black people. The black people ain't falling for that shit. They're not. They're not falling for that. The Spanish ain't falling for that. Nobody is falling for that. Not in my city. I'm just keeping it real. Excuse me. Ain't nobody looting in my city. Again, I said that earlier, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Ain't nobody looting in my city. Nobody. Nobody. What we will see in my city is quiet. Which we will see is less people shopping in the stores. But you ain't going to see none of that stuff because it's not real. It's fictitious. When it comes to the media, do not believe everything you hear on social media because it ain't nothing but, it's just fictitious shit. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just keeping it real with you because, like I said, I had to go back and I had to do my homework. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. And I'm waiting. Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm in my city. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go to Walmart. Okay, I'm waiting on I'm going to Walmart, and I'm waiting on people to come out with buggies full of this and buggies full of that and this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, it didn't happen at Walmart. Okay, now a couple of days later, I go to Price Right. Oh, Price Right is usually people that got all the stamps and stuff like that, because y'all already know those low income stores and stuff. That's where they're gonna pack up the most. So that's gonna be entertainment alone. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, let me sit back. Let me see who's gonna run out of the store with a buggy full of nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Empty as a bitch. Empty as a bitch. You know what I mean? And it's really kind of messed up because y'all, and please, like I said, share this goddamn video. The government shut down. All it's doing is hurting a lot of these goddamn companies too, because a lot of these companies are going to go belly up because they are not going to get the profits and all of that shit that they used to get when them girls used to go in there, and guys, whatever, used to buy them sweets and candies and cookies and cakes and all of that shit. All that shit is going to go belly up. Hostess and Little Debbie's and all of that shit, I'm telling you, they are going to see a decline in their profits. And that's it. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Because they're going to see that most of the motherfuckers that was buying the shit was on welfare. I'm just keeping it real. You could come at me and act like I don't know what I'm talking about. You could come at me and act like I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm keeping it real with y'all. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But listen, y'all. I know I was going back and forth, flip-flopping, because y'all don't know. Sometimes that's what I do. You know, I do. I flip-flop. I'm not going to hold you. But listen, y'all. And ain't nobody coming up and stuff. So I'm gonna just play some music and I'm gonna take us up out of her. Hold on, yeah. Hold on.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Will I make you good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, I'm gonna tell you.
All right, everybody. All right. That is the end of our show. That is the end of our show. I want to thank my advisor kings, advisor queens, advisor honeys, and my advisor princess. Thank you guys. Thank y'all. And please, 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 share my video. I know it's probably going to be, a lot of, oh, Miss Brown, I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, maybe I don't, but I'm just telling you what is going on in my city and what I'm seeing on social media. And again, like I said, do not believe everything everything you see on social media, because it's nothing but fictitious. It's nothing as just keeping your entertainment and all of that stuff. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If some shit was really going on, you would hear it on your local news station. If it's not on your local news station, don't believe it. Don't believe it. That's all I'm saying. But I did not cover, I did not cover this with you. I don't know what's going on these YouTube streets, but I'm pretty sure the men are nasty and the women are nasty too. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Everybody is just trying to either beg, steal a viral, envy your channel, try to take you down or whatever. That's just what it is. It's the area that we live in. That's just the area that we live in. You know what I mean? And when you live in an area, that that is nothing but garbage, you can expect garbage. That's it. You can expect garbage. That's it. And being over here in this sector, and everybody call it this the Mo3 sector and all of that shit, man, please. This is the garbage sector. They need to call this the garbage sector. It probably was at one time called the Mo3 sector, but because you let that garbage in and they polluted the Mo3 sector, this is now called garbage sector. Motherfuckers should understand that. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm an OG down these goddamn streets. I know. I seen people come. I seen people go. I seen channels fall. I seen them get recreated, then fall again, recreated, then fall again. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. I have nothing to really cover down these YouTube streets because I really don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to speculate that ain't nothing going to change. Everything is going to be the same. I ain't going to see no positivity coming out of none of these goddamn channels. None whatsoever. But anyway, y'all keep y'all notifications on. And please share my videos. And also, I am going to be doing a new song tomorrow. So y'all be on the lookout for that. It's a lot of people, excuse me. It's a lot of people, out here that's digging my music. And I'm getting more views on my music, on my shorts than I am on my videos, on my live videos. But that's okay. That is okay. A view is a view. So I'll accept that. And I love that. You know what I mean? And I just have to keep on going. That's the only thing we can do. And I've always told y'all. That's what we got to do. We got to keep on going with our channels. No matter if new motherfuckers come in, move out, or OGs fighting with the OGs, or the OGs fighting with the newbies, and all. Listen, everybody is just trying to, either be here for entertainment or be here because they trying to make a living out of it, which I don't understand that. All these interviews and all that shit talking about, oh, I'm going to interview you. What the fuck? You're not famous. Why even try to do that? And if somebody want to interview you, you shouldn't have to be like, oh, you're going to interview me, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you $50. It's going to cost you $25. It's going to cost you $100. Why? When you're in the same goddamn boat, that person's trying to get their goddamn channel up too. You're supposed to be like, listen, we can bounce off each other. You help me, I'll help you. You know what I mean? Y'all already know, like I said, plants can't grow without water, and we all need each other, especially when we in this YouTube thing. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. So y'all keep y'all notifications on, because you never know when it might be back. It might be next Friday, might be the Friday after, whatever. But y'all already know a bitch will be back. I love y'all. Y'all keep tuning into my music too as well. Because like I said, you never know when a bitch might be back. All right. I love y'all. All right. Bye.